Out the door this Wednesday morning, sneezecast is still very high as our oak pollen is now peaking. From now until around St. Patrick's Day might be really tough, and it's going to be breezy yet again today. Warmer air as well into the low 80s, and as dry and warm as we were yesterday and again today, and with the winds, we'll have to watch for the fire threat. We saw that brush fire west of St. Augustine off County Road 214 quickly grow to around 17 acres. It did force the evacuation of several homes and structures. Thankfully, no damage to report, and firefighters working through the overnight hours in a monitoring phase, but it's 100% contained. There was also a small brush fire in northeast Duval County that was quickly brought under control. It's a reminder that we dry out really fast. Even though it's been very wet overall, we can dry out with the longer, warmer days in the dry air, and the winds are going to be out of the west-southwest today. After today's warm, a cold front comes through, not a whole lot in the form of rain, and by tomorrow, much cooler air, but it's short-lived. By the end of the weekend, Chief Meteorologist Mike Burr says it's going to be pretty humid and warm, and while temperatures will be in the 60s, it's just going to feel a little more spring-like. So maybe a bit uncomfortable for those of us running the Gate River Run, especially those who are not elite athletes and just don't like to run in the humidity, but at least it doesn't look like it's going to be a washout, maybe a sprinkle or two. A lot of other stories we're unpacking for you throughout Jacksonville's morning news. Police continuing to search for a brazen gunman who opened fire on a man inside of a car in Jacksonville's South Side area in the South Point community off Bowden Circle near JTB and I-95. We're continuing to follow that search. Very little in terms of a description. The man was able to drive himself to the hospital, thankfully, for treatment. No word yet on a full suspect description. We'll continue to update you on that storyline. And it's looking more and more like a Biden-Trump rematch will happen. The Michigan primary showing that most Republicans and Democrats in Michigan will support either Biden or Trump. However, just over 100,000 registered Democrats ended up voting uncommitted in that somewhat protest vote, if you will. It was a first true test of rejection, if you will, of President Biden's handling of the Israel-Hamas war. As we continue to gather more reaction to that ahead of Super Tuesday, we'll certainly be updating you throughout Jacksonville's morning news. Super Tuesday, a week from yesterday. So this time next week, we'll have a much better idea of Nikki Haley's staying power in the race for the Republican nomination, which really hasn't been a race up until this point. Continuing coverage of these and other stories throughout the Wednesday edition of Jacksonville's Morning News. We're live and local every weekday until 10 on 104.5 WOKV and streaming on all devices.